we can't take that away, bro. We see that. That's just like if I got into a thing with 50 Cent, we just started going at it. You were like, yo, who is this guy? And all of a sudden, now I'm like, we can't deny that he got into a thing with the biggest rapper in the world, right?
Yeah.
Not in just the United States or in North America, in the world.
You made that up?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. He got a new intro and everything. And because I just felt the intro in the beginning was just mad long, bro. Like, and what actually did it is this guy that, I don't want to say this.
You don't want to say it?
I said, how do I want to say this?
Okay.
I can just be, I'm a blunt guy. People, it is what it is. I don't hate on nobody. I just I don't.
You're choosing your words real careful.
I know, right? And I'm gonna say I'm blunt. I'm choosing my words real careful. I don't know. He just rubs me. I'll say he just rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay.
So there's a guy. He does YouTube's big on YouTube. Black guy, podcaster, music guy. Y'all probably figured out, but you might hear me talk about saying it.
It's a million of those, by the way. So
it is a bunch. He's here in Atlanta, but anyway.
Okay, we narrowing it down. We getting warm a little bit.
We getting warm, right? And he did a review of a video that I did, and one of his things he was talking about was that he was like, "Man, his intro is too long, man." Blah blah blah. But it was cool. I appreciated that part because I did feel that the intro was mad long.
Oh yeah, at home you can narrow it down now. Just go search who did a review on B-Vaughn and you will know.
Yeah. And so,
are you talking about those videos when you review like music equipment and stuff?
Yeah. So
because those videos do well. I've been watching those and I'm like, you double down on what's working for you.
They do,
and those videos do well. So you need to kind of like double down on them joints.
They do well, bro. Like
I was gonna tell you that.
They do well.
I see the numbers on them joints.
That's because. But I did a video recently of kind of talking about the opposite of that.
Okay.
So because I put out a video called, and people, this is how I know. This is how I know right here. It's called the 5 time management strategies for music. It's whatever it's called, music producers, artists, whatever the case, right? They got, I think, like 22 views.
Okay.
Right. I dropped one talking about NPC, 14,000 views.
Bruh. So that's
14,000 views.
Hey, look sometimes God, the universe, a higher power will tell you something with just the evidence. You know what I'm saying?
It is the evidence.
So you got to listen to what's...
That's true.
And also, let me say this too. I didn't expect us to go in this direction, but...
That's what we do.
But B, listen, man, like, if I'm a regular person, I'd rather hear you talk about something that you know well. Like, in terms of, like, empirical evidence. Like, if you have experience working on a piece of equipment, you're qualified to really, like, talk about that.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
So why not stick to...
I'm way more qualified to talk about the 5 best time management strategies because I've been doing it, but here's my thing. Don't nobody care about that. But at least that's my perspective.
But they care about, like, in music, what have you done? That's what they care about.
In music, they care about what have you done.
So,
but here's the thing.
But you can review a piece of equipment because you don't have to be a famous producer. To learn a piece of equipment. You can just be smart and know your way around.
You ain't got to have credits. You don't even have to have ever worked with a single artist.
Listen,
long as you do tutorials.
I was at work the other day and I was inside a vehicle. I work at the airport. I was inside of I hate to tell my business, but anyway, I was in a situation where I was inside of a car behind the airplane that was going to be leaving in like 20 minutes, and I couldn't get the car to start. The key fob wouldn't work, and this plane had, and it's a big no-no to like hold up a plane to take off, real big.
Right.
So literally, like I'm almost panicking, but I said, okay, I got 20 minutes to figure this out. So I Googled, I went to YouTube to find out, like, it was some kind of Chevy car, how to, like, if the key fob battery dies, how to get this car to start manually. And I figured it out in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was some no-name guy I never heard of, but I wrote a comment. I said, look, thank you. You saved my life. You saved me right now. You know, my point is, But this guy knew what he was talking about because he knew that apparently you got to sit the key in the cup holder when the battery dies. Somehow it locks in that way, and it worked. My point is that kind of thing is very, very valuable. And so if you know how to work this equipment, it don't matter that you don't get no Grammys. But if you're talking about how to be a successful music producer, they're gonna look at you and say, okay, what if you produce successfully? What have you done?
Exactly, I get that.
So stick to and the evidence is in there.
I get that.
I'm watching your videos when you talk about the reviews of certain music equipment, and it's getting crazy views.
Crazy views.
I'm like, bruh.
500 plus comments. I get it.
Double down and triple down on what works.
I get it.
Like,
but that's what my video is about. It's my video. The video that I got to put out is about my perspective of why people watch those types of videos versus watching the videos that, in my perception, would be the most helpful in helping them in their career to be successful and have longevity in their career, based upon my own credibility of being a consultant within organizational development and leadership development.
People don't care. You said that.
I know. They don't care. But they don't care. They don't care. You know, Billy Bob, music producer over here, he actually don't care. He just wants to know how to press the buttons and how to do this. But what he don't want to know and what he actually needs to know is how to maximize his time effectively. But they don't care about that.
What you got to do, what do they call it? Proof of concept. Is that what they call it? You have to get you a rapper and help this rapper succeed with these time management strategies.
Man, you know what?
And sit down and say, you know what? I
can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Go to my LinkedIn and look at my credentials.
I got Lil Boogaloo over here. Lil Boogaloo
That's what I'm saying.
Is the best thing, biggest rapper in the world, and I taught him everything for time management. So let me teach you. And then they're like, oh, for real? Okay, Boogaloo.
You know what I'm saying? Go look at my LinkedIn profile, my professional LinkedIn profile, and look at the comments from all the vice presidents and CEOs.
They don't care about.
But they don't care about that. They don't care. They don't care about none.
Unless it's president.
None of that. Of Def Jam.
Timberland president Dr. Dre.
That's all
president
they care
of
about.
Def Jam.
That's all they care about.
They don't care about President Fortune 2000.
They don't.
Fortune 50 company.
But you know what's so crazy is the fact that they don't care about that. But those are the same people who are controlling and dictating the landscape of music. But they don't care about that because we can sit here and tell them, somebody can tell them, but then let one of the executives come in and say, oh, you should do this, this, and this. Oh, man, that's the best thing. I never heard of that before.
Because the executives...
It's like, nigga, no. I got 18 videos that say that.
I'm going to push back on that, B. I'm going to push back on that. I'm with the people because I think deep down, we are the same way. We don't want to take advice from somebody who ain't done it. I don't care.
But that's what I'm saying.
I don't care if you...
A person can't say that I haven't done it.
I don't...
That's what I'm saying.
talking about in the specific genre. You can have all you can have the answers. You can have all
no. Or time management strategies
unless you do
are
this.
applicable regardless of industry, bro.
You're missing the point.
They don't care about industry, but they don't.
They want to. They want to see, especially as YouTube. YouTube is
regardless of industry.
A lot of this is about niche and specialization. They want to see somebody that. Perfect example. Timberland could take the same stuff that you said and do a video on it, and because it's from Timberland.
It's Timberland.
And we the same way though. Like if we trying to be successful in whatever, we want to hear from the people that's actually doing it as specific as possible.
Because it's Timberland.
I don't want to hear a dentist tell me about time management strategies. If I'm trying to be a producer.
That's a dentist. I don't think he or she, whoever had expertise in being able to do that.
Dentists should be an expert in time management. Any kind of medical professional should be excellent, especially the way.
Well, they should be because they're learning it actually from somebody who is an expert in.
What I'm saying is
teaching time.
What I'm saying is anybody, not anybody, but anybody who knows those principles, regardless of a genre, can teach those principles. Anybody who knows it. So, but I'd rather hear from somebody who's applying it to it's about niche as much as possible.
But that's the thing. I'm applying it specifically to the genre. Now, because I don't have a Grammy sitting on my wall.
Do me a favor, Brian.
Wait, hold up. Just because I don't have a Grammy sitting on my wall doesn't mean I haven't worked with artists and actually taught artists how to do this. Even the conversation where I said what I'm telling you today is from 5 years of conversations I've had with.
You got to lead with that, and you got to name drop.
I'm not doing that. No, I got to push back on that. B. I'm not doing that.
I'm just telling you.
I'm not doing that.
What,
I'm not doing that.
Do me a favor. Get every piece of equipment and do a video on that. Because
I've done pretty much videos on most of the equipment.
Well, buy new equipment and start reviewing it because that's what's working. And I'm trying to.
But that is what's working. But that's why we got so many people out here that can't move the needle in their career because they're still sitting around watching beat tutorial videos all day, every single day. And that's great to master your craft. But if you're not mastering the other side of it, the business side of it, no matter how many times you sit and watch a beat tutorial, a sample tutorial, a slice tutorial, your career is not going to move. It's only going to move incrementally until you learn the thing from the business side. But that's the thing. They don't.
The right information is correct, but they don't want to. So I'm just telling you, like, give them what they want to hear.
You know what?
Because this is the Indie Unplugged.
Those who want to hear are going to come and hear.
We're trying to give strategies for success. And my point is just to bring it on home for the people watching this. You got to do what's working because otherwise, life is short. Life is short. We only got so many time management. We only got so much time in our days, in our careers. Double down and triple down on what is working.
But that's an injustice. That is an absolute injustice to people who need information to further their career.
With that, because
B, if I sit here and teach you how to use this machine and press buttons all day, and you become a master at machine, but you can never actually move your career forward. What good is all that knowledge of using the machine if you don't learn the principles and practices of the business side and learn how to move your business forward? I can sit here and tell you how to form an LLC. Why? Because I've done it and I've taught other people how to form an LLC. But if you don't know how to do that, now, granted, you can watch anybody do that, but if you don't know how to do that, why people got issues with registering their stuff with PROs? Because they busy watching tutorials.
Okay, we go in circles. Let me just end in my part on this. My part on this. I promise you, you do them videos on equipment, you get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The more bigger you get doing that, the more they'll go double back and listen to your stuff about forming LLCs and time management. Because it's called proof of concept.
We'll see. I get the whole proof of concept 100%, 100%. I'm not saying there isn't anyone who watches it. It's just the majority of the people that I see.
All I'm saying is that I look up, it's like, dang, that video doing well.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm thinking to myself, B, do more of those,
bro.
Do more of those.
Even to the point where I had companies reach out like, yo, can we want to invite you to be a part of what we do?
And like, why not take that thing to the sky, to the moon, to the rocket ship, bro? Like, what are you doing?
Because part of me from a organizational professional perspective, a part of me goes, if I only teach you that, I'm not giving you really the things that you really need to move your career forward.
How you know they're not getting there from somewhere else though? How do you know they can't
could
get
be?
It? So
they could be, but
maybe you're not the one to get that to them right now.
Maybe I am, and maybe it's only a certain people that will do it until it grows. I'm not changing. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not changing that aspect. Trust me, I know. Yeah.
John Maxwell, because my boss at work, my manager, all the leaders, I got promotion at work, so now I'm in this leadership.
That's right.
Realm. And she sends all her leaders these videos every day that we have to watch and talk about at our meeting. Yeah. And it's just these John Maxwell principles. Yeah. It's one principle, it's like the principle of prioritization, something like that. Yeah. And he talked about you prioritize stuff.
You know where that comes from?
And you focus on what apply it to what you're doing, because
I am.
Because if you prioritize those videos to actually work, it'll solve everything else.
It won't. I mean, we beating a dead horse. It's not. Trust me, I'm very familiar with John well. I understand the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. I read the book many times. Had conversations with different leaders about it. I get it. That's where it comes from.
I'm saying prioritize what you're doing.
I am prioritizing what I'm doing
and focus on
because
80-20.
And we can move on. But the Indie Unplugged, We Create Music TV is not a platform where you're going to come and get information about how to press pads and be the dopest pad pusher producer that's out there. That's not really the mission of We Create Music TV. It's even though the name is We Create Music, that's still not.
I just see my boy blowing up with some videos. I'm like,
I appreciate
he need to do more of those.
Hey,
I'm like, bro,
I got more of those coming.
But that
can't be the foundation and the totality of what is offered. I get it though. I appreciate that.
Independent artists. I know for me, I'm an independent artist. I would love to know how to work this, because I'm terrible when it comes to like the technology. Like I went to SAE and all that stuff, but my strong suit ain't that. But if I can get somebody to break it down for me and show me which one to get, hey man, I'm all for that, man. Even my son is 15. He's trying to get into production, and we've been watching videos about which is the best DAW, because he wants to pick a DAW, and it don't got to be Timberland.
It don't matter.
It don't got to be who it is. We was just trying to find the best information.
You know what the best DAW is? It don't matter.
But
they
if
all almost do the same thing.
But if we're trying to figure out how to make hit records, then it do matter. But we just trying to see.
Actually, it don't. It don't. Any DAW.
No, I'm talking.
Any DAW, as long as you know how to master that.
No. What I'm saying is, if we're trying to figure out, talking about separate conversation, like if we want to figure out the best DAW to get cool, but if we want to figure out like how to actually craft the best song, regardless of DAW, then it don't matter who we.
Who you listen to.
Who we listen to.
Because you're going to want to listen to people who actually craft.
But for the first thing, we just trying to find information. So I don't care. It could be Joe Schmo, nobody. If you know what he's talking about and it's informative, and in the first couple minutes, it's okay. I'm learning something here.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe. What else you got? Show me, walk me through this whole thing.
No, I get it, and that's where a lot of people are. That's where a lot of people are, right at that level. That level is where the majority of the music industry is, and those people who take it to, I'll say, the next level are the people that end up being successful. Because a lot of the things that I'm talking about are things that I've had conversations with other people about. And they say, well, like, hey, how did you do? You know what, man, I managed my time effectively. I had to learn to say no. I had to learn to prioritize. Y'all go back and watch that interview that I talked about with Tammy Latrell. And half of that conversation are conversations that we talk about managing time, prioritization, strategizing, things like that. Things that she said made her very, very successful. But anyway.
Excuse me.
But
yeah, man. I don't know. I would love to see more. I would love to see my boy have more videos with thousands and thousands and thousands of views on them. You know
me too. And I would love to have those types of videos and videos that actually help people move forward in their career. Both. But both of them.
It's people out there that need to know how to work this stuff.
Yeah, they do.
Or what's the best speaker to get? Whatever you know about this stuff.
They do.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why they got manuals. But I'm just half of them don't even read the manual. Hey, like we said, I forgot what I'd
rather go to YouTube and watch somebody explain it to me and read the manual.
True.
Hello. Ding ding. Hello.
I get it.
Like,
I get it.
It's a big market out there for that.
I get it. And half of the time they can't really cover all the stuff that they need to cover because they only can do so much in that YouTube video. I'm like, yo, bro, you kind of forgot that. You should have talked about that. You didn't. Like, that's the basic.
You can break it down.
The basic thing. Like, how'd you forget to do that?
God forbid you get big enough to where you got to have a membership to get, because you can get deeper into it. Now you can teach master classes on this stuff.
But here's I'm not gonna name this
and maybe
guy.
I can fund everything else you're trying to do.
I'm not gonna name this guy, but recently somebody came out and did a video and apologizing to their subscribers because of the fact that, and I applaud him for doing that, because he felt like he wasn't giving them information that they truly needed. And a lot of times because he does reviews on equipment and machine and NPCs and all that stuff. And when he's doing reviews, he's like, oh yeah, I can do this and do that. And it's like, no, I can't do that. Oh, it should have this. And it's like, it does have that. And it's like, you didn't know that. But you're doing a review on this equipment. I'm not saying you got to be 100% master at it, because I don't think unless you're the maker of the equipment, you could be 100% master at it. But I appreciated him making that video, because it was like saying you're making tutorials on things that, yes, you know, but in these tutorial videos, you're missing things that you should have probably studied or researched or whatever the case was prior to you making the video. And it's like, and that's kind of the caveat to making those types of videos. I know production. I'm not a master at it. I'll be honest, I'm not a master at it. But what I am a master at is organizational development. What I am a master at is leadership. What I am a master at is training. Like, I'm a master at that. I got social proof to prove that. Now,
I do your thing, B.
I do, but I get it. Anyway,
man.
Anyway, I appreciate you though.
Of course,
I appreciate
man.
that.
Of course, man. But, it's a lot been going on though.
A lot been going on, man.
And I don't want to backtrack too much because some stuff might not be as fresh.
It don't matter.
But It's a lot, man.
It's a lot. It's a lot, bro.
I know for me, I'm a big music fan. You know, I'm real big into like generational artists, and for me, this whole Kanye West thing needs to be really studied and scrutinized. Because I'm at a point now where I'm done with the man. Like, I'll still listen to his first 4 or 5 albums. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm listening to College Dropout, Graduation,
College Dropout, late registration, graduation. And maybe My Dark Twisted Fantasy. I liked a little bit of Life of Pablo a little bit. I didn't like 808s and Heartbreaks. I couldn't stand that.
And the only reason why I like Life of Pablo is because there's people that we know that produced on it. That's
he got a couple songs in there. He got some songs
and he got a couple songs in there. That's dope.
That I like, but that's probably. And then I think there's a couple songs on the Ye album that I like 1 or 2 songs on the Ye album that I like, with the mountains in the background.
Yeah,
a couple songs on there, but after that, like, I can't really. So, you know, I feel like the question should be posed: what's it gonna take to like him to just go away? And is he proof that nobody can be canceled? Like it's impossible. If you got a fan base that rock with you, there's nothing you can do to get canceled, because he done did everything you can possibly do to get canceled.
Yeah.
The racism, you know, he talked about Jay-Z's children, which is like crazy. That is just like beyond, but he still has an audience. He still, you know, Academics has an interview with him they're trying to put out, and like everybody's waiting for it, like salivating to hear it. And it's like, why?
Because people love salation.
he put even his music. He put the Bully album. He like put it out on Twitter or something like that, and they were flocking to it. And it's like, what is it going to take? You know. But on the flip side, though, if you are an agent of good, right, not an agent of evil or chaos, can you build up a fan base strong enough to where it's indestructible? Because it seems like
I believe people can. I believe people can build up a fan base that's so big, that's so indestructible, that no matter what happens, they will stand and push through whatever they're facing, no matter what the situation is, because they've reached a certain level of fame and stardom and notoriety that no matter who they are, they're still going to have that fan base that's still going to jive with them no matter what happens. For me specifically, this is a he needs help, bro.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna be. He needs help. He needs the people to ask somebody to actually come in and be like, bro, look, here's the real deal.
He gonna cut him off though. He gonna cut him off, and I'll talk to him again. Look, and be done.
That's true. But that's a sign that you know that a person is sincerely going through something that they really needs help with, right? You know, I don't know if I shared it on the episode before. You know, it doesn't matter. But I mean, my mom's passed anyway, so I mean, so it don't matter. But you know, my mom was a crack addict. You know what I'm saying? And so when she went through that, it was like no, I'm not on drugs. I don't do all that. I don't do right. But she realized she needed help, like, because it was destructions things that was happening. She went to jail. She was almost on her way going to prison. I was almost taken away to like foster care, and I think I told you my stepdad stepped in and was like, "No, he with me, we good." And my grandfather had to put up his house to bail my mom out of jail. It was it was so crazy. But she, at a point in time, she was cutting everybody off. They kept saying, "Hey, cut them off." But it was a strong cry for help until I don't know what transpired, but it was something that happened, and it triggered her to go to Narcotics Anonymous. And I mean, she went to NA, and I don't know if it was because it was part of the you getting out of jail,
right? And
you got to go.
Yep.
And so, but when she went, she was faithful. She was faithful getting them little coins, bro. Like I remember she had stacks of them coins, and I was like, "Mom, I'm so proud of you. Like I'm proud of you." This is a cry for help, bro. Like all this anti-Semitic, whatever that may be. You know, I'm not gonna get into the whole thing because I got my own views, not so much from an anti-Semitic perspective, but just hate in general of people, and then classifications of people who hate on other people, but then is mad, offended, or defensive when something else is pointed towards them. But anyway, I just got issues with that. But it's just a cry for help. It is honestly 100% a cry for help. And I don't think he's going to get it because he doesn't allow anybody around him to get that close to offer that help.
And if you
It's going to lead to self-destruction.
and I just want to I don't want to take it for granted that everybody knows what's going on. I want to give a quick little recap. And I can't go over everything, but Kanye West, has said anti-Semitic remarks in the past about Jews and Adidas.
Yep.
And for the Super Bowl, he paid millions for an ad to go to his website. And on that website, he had for sale a swastika on a shirt, which is insane, right?
He did.
And Shopify ended up shutting that down. And he had stuff about Leo Cohen. He said stuff about Cassie, who we saw on video get beat up by Diddy. He said Cassie
was crazy.
He said Cassie was extorting Diddy. He sided with Diddy and all that. Then he called. He said
there was a phone call between him and Diddy.
He had a phone call with him, and then Diddy came back and said, "Look, I didn't even author. I know I was even being recorded and all that stuff." He said that Jay-Z and Beyonce's two youngest children, which we don't really see. He said, "I'm not gonna say the R. Call them the R words. They're mentally disabled, very distasteful." He said Jay-Z can come kill me. I want him to kill me. And he said, to your point, he said, I haven't been the same since my mom passed away and all this stuff. But for me, regardless of the cause of what he's, of the reason why,
Right.
I just can't support none of that stuff, man. I can't support none of it, and I hope he does get help. But until he does a 180 and turns around on this, I can do without any Kanye, other than his first few albums. But I'm off of Kanye.
Yeah, it is a huge cry for help. I wish he would go back and just really listen to Jesus Walks and just like really get into walking with Jesus. Like this is a cry for help, ladies and gentlemen. Like if you've never seen a mental disorder on display, this is it right here. This is absolutely what it looks. And I work with a bunch of mental health and behavioral health professionals. This is a mental health crisis that he's facing. And
it feels like he's kind of using that whole, because he had the Jesus is King album. He had the Sunday service, and back then they were saying that he there was no cussing on the Jesus is King album.
right.
He even the album after the Donda album, it was all edited. No vulgar language. He said that he didn't want people fornicating while they were working with him. He was on this high horse. I feel like it's kind of exploitive of the religion, because now he's saying
that
now he's saying he's doing Sunday service again. He's saying it's coming soon, and it's like, to me, he's using that to kind of like fall back on.
Yeah,
and it's very disturbing.
No, I mean, I just wish he would go back and listen to why he made that song in the first place. What was his relationship with God in the first place when he was talking about that song? Even his personal relationship with God. Like, even outside of that, it is what it is. It's a cry for help, bro. And nobody's going to get close enough to do it. And now you're ostracizing anybody that may want to have done it. Maybe Jay-Z was like, I see my man going through something. Let me just go ahead and reach out. But now your kids are mentally ill.
Even people who like Pusha T, John Legend, Big Sean, he's attacked them all. He had a list of people. He had a list of people who was his enemies or whatever. And it's like he had his kids. It's not funny.
His kids is on it.
It's not,
bruh.
That part is not funny, because even the whole talk of kids in general, I think you got to be careful when you bring up people's kids, man,
and mamas.
Yeah, kids and mamas, mamas. Women and children.
Women and children.
You got to be real careful.
Right. You can say what you want about me, but don't say anything about my wife and kids.
Yeah, that's like a line you're supposed to cross, and it's like, so
that's crazy.
But I mean, I guess again, I always like to relate stuff to people at home. Can you have a fan base, or how do you keep from losing your way? Because obviously he lost his way.
Yeah.
And we do grow and evolve. The person you are at 25, you're not going to be at 45.
True.
But when you evolve, how do you keep the ship steered right?
Well, I mean, Kanye got to a point where in his career, nobody could tell him what to do, right? He became the king of his castle, and nobody else was able to come in and be an advisor to the king. And so it was like, even if they did, then it was like, no, this is my way. I want to do it how I want to do it. I don't want to do it the way that you guys want to do it. And so when you push aside your support mechanisms, it's going to lead to you leading yourself into whatever areas you want to go in based upon where you see yourself. And Kanye, of course, saw himself as, the pinnacle, the untouchable. I'm Ye. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. What you gonna do? I can say whatever I want to say and do whatever I want to do. Who's gonna do anything about it, right?
Yeah.
I got billions. I go ahead and do this, and boom, I can command things to happen. I got power, and so what you gonna do? Who can say something to that person at that level? Nobody.
That's crazy, man.
So
that was real big for me. 'Cause I know he's tweeting every day, but the big meltdown was a couple weeks ago, so it's a little old. But he's still every day he got something new. He's drumming up on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I think we're starting to tune him out a little bit, but whenever we tune him out, it's something else big that
something
comes.
else big that pop up.
Hopefully, we just keep him tuned out, man.
Keep him in your prayers, y'all. Like, if you're a praying person, praying man, praying woman, keep him in your prayers. You never know how far a person can go until they reach a certain bottom, and then they're pulled out, and then God just pulls them out of there, and it's changed their life. And I've seen it. I've seen it as a believer myself. I've seen it. I've seen people who were on drugs, and I've seen people who were mentally ill, and I've seen individuals who are just going down the wrong path and hit rock bottom and were completely changed and turned around, and their life has never been the same since then. And if you're a praying person, I would say just pray for Kanye, bro. Like,
and I think what Kanye got to understand,
you ain't got to deal with him.
I think what he got to understand though is he's done irreparable damage. Like, let's say he does get touched by the Lord for real and changes for real, he still. Some people ain't gonna ever rock with Kanye again, and ever, no matter what. In a certain segment,
yep.
And he gonna have to live with that.
You have to live with it.
You have to eat that.
That's right.
That is. So hopefully he does change, turn around. But some stuff is like you can't, like, God.
Yeah.
God will forgive you, but some humans ain't gonna.
That is
rock with you.
But that's part of the things you got to live through, right? When you do something that's bad, and you turn around and you ask for forgiveness, and you try to mend that situation, there's gonna be people who don't want to mend that situation, and that's part of that. That's part of that. You have to accept that a person is no longer going to want to deal with you based upon all the issues, situations, circumstances that have revolved around that person's behavior. And it's like, I get it, and it's if a person truly changes their life and they truly walk away from all the things that they've been doing, there are still repercussions.
Like, if I'm Jay-Z or Beyonce, hey, I hope God deliver you. I hope you turn your life around. But don't you ever say a word to me. Don't you ever in your life even look in my direction. And if that's wrong, then God help me.
He said, don't look in my direction.
I'm
don't
serious.
Breathe in 500 feet.
You insult my kids to the whole world.
Bro, I don't even want to see you at an award show.
I hope God delivers you. I hope that, and I hope you get to heaven. I hope y'all go to heaven. But you go to heaven, you stay over there in that section of heaven. Like, I don't want to be next to you in this life, the next life, any life. I don't play about my children. And
that's Kanye. Yo, he need to stay way over there in heaven, like,
right.
In the corner of heaven. I don't want to even see him over here. Jesus,
bro. I'm saying, bro,
look, keep him over there.
So, and I'm sure a lot of their fans, like, they got the beehive, bro. Like,
bro,
so my point is, no matter what you do,
like, you're always gonna have people that support you, and you could be. People supported Jeffrey Dahmer, and so.
Well, Satan got some third of the angels, right? So
third of the angels, even the angels, the angels supported him.
Everybody,
right? So everybody got somebody that supported him through evil, crazy deeds.
It is what it is. Speaking of evil, crazy deeds, man, I want to talk about something that we've been talking about a lot. But it's really starting to come. It's sad, but part of me is happy that it's kind of coming to the head, so we can have these tough discussions. And hip hop, man, we know Lil Durk. We talked about Lil Durk, which we just put out an album, by the way, too, today. I ain't listened to it yet.
Really?
Yeah, I ain't heard it yet, but it came out today.
Oh, okay.
Lil Durk got he's in jail now, awaiting trial for a murder for hire plot. One, possibly two murder for hire plots. right, of another rapper, Quando Rondo. Mo3 was murdered, but Yella Beezy was arrested because Mo3 got murdered, I think, a year or two ago, 3 years ago, something like that. And now they're saying that, and it was in broad daylight, right? He got ran down on the freeway in Dallas, which is crazy because the trial was going on. They actually putting out footage of that, and it's just, and you can see Mo3 trying to run and hide on the freeway, and people in the comments arguing, she should have got back in the car and all this stuff. But it's just, they hunted that man down like a dog. But they're saying Yella Beezy put money on his head. And Yella Beezy was a promising rapper. He, got records with Boosie. He was on First Take with Skip Bayless, not First Take, Undisputed with Skip Bayless every Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a future ahead of you, and now you're accused of hiring somebody to kill another rapper, a rival rapper, another black man, by the way, in your hometown. And we see Big U and a bunch of people got arrested in a federal indictment. They're saying that Big U murdered a young rapper that he was managing because the rapper put out a diss song on him. So they say he murdered him in the desert. And left him in the desert in Vegas. And it's just like, and of course they're trying to tie him to the Nipsey Hussle murder and all this stuff. And it's just a lot going on, man. And I always say the music is fine, but the culture outside the music. But it's to the point now where it's like, oh yeah. And then I'm going somewhere with this. I saw yesterday, 2 days ago, the NFL, every year they announce their new rules they're going to have. Well, they announced that, because they banned certain...
They got new rules every year?
Oh, yeah. They have
That's crazy.
They have a competition committee that looks at stuff. Like, like a lot of it's like special teams, how do you handle overtime? We're going to cut overtime short. Just stuff like that. But they do ban certain celebrations. And there's a celebration, I think CD Lamb made it popular, where like, I think you tackle and you get up and you wipe his nose. But that's like a gang symbol. The term wipe a nose, and I knew what it meant, but for this podcast, I technically did some research on it. And it's funny, Genius.com, they did a news story on it in 2019 about wiping your nose. Apparently, Young Thug started that phrase in 2014.
Wow.
Or at least on the radio, on music, he started saying that term. But wiping your nose, the Migos. I think in 2019, because Genius is crazy. Genius is a trip, man.
You got snotty nose. That's
Genius did like a little pie chart where they calculated how many times the term was used, and every year kept going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And they say it all the time. Wipe a nigga nose. You know what I'm saying? Basically, what it means is I'm gonna hurt somebody, kill them, shoot them up. I'm gonna get at them, wipe their nose.
Okay. We're gonna wipe their nose.
Yeah, and it's a celebration, and the NFL banned it, and now a lot of folks on social media are saying it's racist. They're trying to take away our culture, and they want our athleticism. They don't want our culture. So
you coach?
Exactly, and it's like, but B, that underscores the whole problem of the fact that we have no problem killing each other,
right?
And bringing this culture of the music to real life.
Right.
We have no problem doing that. Literally, you got rappers putting out hits on other rappers.
Why is that something to be celebrated?
And we wonder why we killing each other. And we get mad.
Well, that's the first. And
we get mad that the NFL was banning the celebration of.
Yeah. I mean, that's the first thing, right? Is the killing of blacks in general, but rappers. I made the statement before, right? We talked about why these things happen. And I made the statement that I believe that a lot of these individuals who are rappers were criminals prior to being rappers, right? Gangbangers prior to being rappers. They weren't just rappers who turned into that. They were that. And they became rappers because they saw rap as an outlet, a way to make money, additional money, and to garner fame and notoriety and those things. But they were already criminals, already gang members, right? And so, I mean, but we've seen it. I mean, we have a history within the hip hop space of gang members and criminals being rappers. I mean, you could agree, you could agree to disagree, but one of my favorite, groups is Wu-Tang, right? They even talked about it was like, yo, hey, they got garbage up the way. I got 2 for $5s over here. You're like, they selling drugs, right? I mean, so hip hop came from a culture of being people pushing drugs and then coming out of that, quote unquote, to be rappers. Now, a lot of the rappers who came out of it never went back to do that, right? They were like, nah, I'm done with the streets. Yeah, we moving out. We moving to living with the whites. One big house, not another nigga in sight, right? Like, yeah, because we not trying to be a part of that life no more. But you still got rappers who criminals who still want to live that life and talk about it on their records. To me, I think that is a problem. Is that we got gang members and criminals who are rappers, and that activity bleeds into the music.
So should we not welcome them in the industry, or should they say, you know what, let me realize my blessing and let me walk away from that, or can they walk away from that?
That's the other part, right? Can they? Because we talked about that though. Can they walk away from that? Will their circle allow them to walk away from that? People, I mean, y'all probably know peer pressure can be a mother.
It's the internet, though. It's the
internet.
Even with Lil Durk, like, what was the big thing? He got to slide for Vaughn. He got to go slide for Vaughn. He got to slide for Vaughn. Well, he slid for Vaughn, and now he's in jail facing like a life sentence. And
isn't that what you're supposed to do for your crew?
And you at home on your computer, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because I know I talk about hip hop media on here, like the VladTVs and the Adam 22s. They eating all this up, and they getting
juicy.
Literally, it's crazy. Literally, you got, I think the guy named Loose Cannon and Brick Baby. They're on there talking about like crimes they committed, like breaking it all down, you know. And apparently I didn't read it, I didn't get a chance to, but apparently in this indictment they're referencing these interviews.
I'm sure they're
referencing them.
I'm sure.
The one guy, Brick Baby, he was arguing with the guy. He said, "Man, I got more murders than you got face." He said, "I literally," he says, "I have more murders. I've killed more people than you fought." He's literally said that on a podcast.
So now we're going to go try to investigate.
Well, he's in jail. They arrested him.
We're going to figure out all these murders
they arrested him, though. He's in federal jail now.
But that's the thing. A person who's a criminal has always been a criminal. Is going to be a criminal no matter what. And even if they get into this industry, that's what they are. It'd be great if they got into it, made the money, changed, and went a separate out of that life, or changed and developed programs to pull other people out of that. That's not what they're doing, because they don't want to. They're not thinking about that either, right? They're not thinking about, if I'm coming out of it and somebody else is facing that same thing, how can I help them move out of the same situation so that we don't get an industry, a culture full of rappers killing other rappers and black people killing other black people?
Is the media helping or hurting that? Because part of your notoriety is that you get a chance to go and sit down on Vlad and Adam 20 and whoever in Art of Dialogue. That's a black person who runs that Art of Dialogue, by the way, or the Breakfast Club or somewhere, and break this down. You know what I mean? Like, at what point? Because under the comments, it's gonna get the view, and it's gonna get the
views, right?
If Adam 22 don't do it, so and so gonna do it. If so and so don't do it, as a matter of fact, these people, they hop. I'm gonna go here, there. I'm gonna go to all of them. Say Cheese TV, Sean Cotton. You know what I'm saying? They'll cover it. You know. Mm-hmm. Oh, not to mention, Sauce Walker got shot up, and his artist got killed in Memphis.
Yeah,
broad daylight.
I remember that. Yeah.
Broad daylight in front of the arena.
Yep.
And it's like, and Sauce Walker's on live the same night with the bandages on his leg. Come on, I'm good, man. He almost like he happy, almost like I get more notoriety. And I got shot up again. I got
more notoriety.
And it's like,
right,
as a culture, because trust me, if it wasn't moving the needle, they have to find somebody else to interview.
Yeah,
it wouldn't. So why is it moving the needle?
You asked the question: Is media, hip hop media, to blame?
Or are they part of it?
Or not? Well, yeah, not blame. Are they a part of it?
A part of the blame.
Is okay. So would an organization like CNN or MSNBC be part of it by covering whatever news stories exist with out there in the world, right? Whether it's war, whether it's terrorism, whether it's, you know, situations happening in this, home and abroad, whatever
It's a good comparison.
whatever they're using is what. And so these platforms, Adam 22, No Jumper, DJ Academics, Vlad, they're considered journalism. I'm going quote unquote considered journalism. I mean, but we talked about the difference between journalism and in this. But are they providing a platform that brings light to the issues that are happening? My only issue with the differences I see in journalism and what they do, Vlad and all them, is that journalism covers for what they should do is cover the story, right? No Jumper and Vlad and academics and all that, they want the salacious. I'm gonna use that word. The salacious, the juicy stuff, right? It's for me not journalism in that sense. They just want the juicy story so that that story can get views and those views turn into dollars, right? But I mean, will we blame MSNBC or CNN for covering the story? It's kind of similar to this. Probably not. I just think the intent is different when it comes from those organizations and organizations like academics or Vlad or No Jumper. I think the intent is different. I think they know what their true intent is, where other organizations just, we're covering news, we're covering media, we're fact checking, we want to tell the truth, we are researching and finding the right evidence to provide the right type of story. I don't think that happens on those other platforms. I don't.
Well, I will say to give Vlad a little bit of
I know you do like that.
benefit. No, because he'll take something, he'll interview every single person. If you're walking on the sidewalk when Tupac got shot, he gonna bring you in, and he gonna get every detail from your perspective from when on the sidewalk that day. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna verify that you were actually on the sidewalk that day before he puts it out. So I don't know, man. I just think that the media definitely helps perpetuate it.
For sure.
It helps, but people had the same criticism of CNN as well. Well, why does the news only cover negative stuff?
Yeah.
Why does the news cover more positive stories?
Well, I think they try to balance it. I think they try, but there's more craziness going on in the world than, and my wife's a big news person, and so sometimes I'm caught in that watching the news, and they talk about the bad, but they talk about some good too.
Is that true, or is that what they want us to believe?
That's probably what they want us to believe. I mean,
it's probably this world is probably not as bad as they
it's probably not.
They want us to feel like it is.
Probably not.
They want us to be fearful,
of course,
and scared, and all this stuff, because we're gonna stay locked in to find out the latest for our safety.
That's right. And then with that safety comes other things. We had that discussion about the sacrifice for safety. Are you willing to give up certain things in order to feel safe and secure? And people will do that.
So I don't know. All I know is that whenever these things happen, I want to bring light to it on whatever platform I got. I want to bring light to it. And again, rappers being murdered, rappers getting arrested for murder for hire. You know what I'm saying? And these rappers talk about it. How many times they say, I'm put money on your head, put money on your head? We finding out these niggas, they put money on,
really
they put money on people's heads for real.
They really doing it.
Which is crazy.
Really
I'm gonna pay probably another black man to kill another black man.
So how is this different? So let's say, how is this different than if, I'm gonna use the scenario in this way, and it may not be the best scenario. Y'all tell me if this scenario makes sense. How is it different when you have a white woman who hires somebody to kill her husband?
It's different because not my circus, not my monkey. I'm a black man in hip hop that care about my people and where we're going. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
But I get what you're saying though, because of course I'm a human, man. I'm against all injustice. I'm against all murders. I'm a true crime junkie. I love true crime. I'm so busy, I don't get a lot of free time. But in my free time, I watch. Like this morning, I was watching Catching Up on Investigation Discovery. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm all for like people doing the right thing, but I especially care about my people. And
I agree with that too.
And where we're
care
going.
about my people.
And it's just like, and like I think I heard Killer Mike say this, as Black people, you know, the reason why I think the world should care about us is because when Black people are doing good, the whole world gonna do good, because we got a lot to contribute. We contribute to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
We do.
To the entire world. So
every single culture.
So it's in everybody's advantage for us to do well, because we want to contribute to the greater society. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just feel like, man, this culture, man, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like.
I don't like it either.
And I'm gonna keep bringing it up. And again, it's more news. You know what I'm saying? It's more news. So
I don't like it either. I just think it's. I think our media is built on. I've said it many times before. Our culture, our media, in the culture is built on what my perspective is: gossip. And what I mean by gossip is having conversations about things that you know the intent only is to start up drama
and
get views, and those views turn into dollars. You know, that's your only objective, is to say things, not that you care, but only because you only want to get the views, because you know that it's shock value and people want to hear it. But that goes back to my statement. I ain't gonna get back into that earlier, but people want the shock value, and they don't want to hear things that are helpful. But that's the thing. Do people want to hear positivity? Right? Do we really want to hear positive things happen? Do we want to hear podcasts talk about positive things happen? People are like, man, that's a boring podcast, man. You ain't talking about nothing that's real juicy and, inside information and things that we really truly want to hear, because you don't want to really hear anything that's,
well, like I always say, man,
truly positive.
I think you can, maybe your ceiling to be a little bit smaller. Maybe you can't get as big, but you can sleep at night. And if you work hard and if you gather out of the 8 billion people in the world, if you gather whatever percentage wants to hear positive stuff, if you gather them together, you'll be all right.
You'll be all right.
Again, you may not be as big as academics or whoever else, but you can sleep at night, and you never know. You might blow up in a different way.
You may blow up in a different way.
You know what I'm saying?
But you ain't got to be all, gossipy.
And then, this is the one case where I deviate from what I said at the beginning of the podcast. Don't give them what they want in this case. Don't
give them what they want. Don't give them this type of stuff.
Yeah, we could do a video talking about who killing who and all that stuff and all that, and get a bunch of views and all that stuff.
Don't want that.
Or you could do like even now, and what I do on my podcast, I try to talk about the stuff people want to hear, but give it the right spin and bring it back.
That's right.
To the positive note, and kind of like bring some levity to situations and talk about what can we learn from stuff. So I'm still kind of trying to kill two birds with one stone. Still get the engagement, but give them the medicine. With it, But even then, though, if you're not salacious enough, if you're not like, but even then, though, you got to. This is gets on my nerves too, with these misleading clickbait headlines.
Bro,
it ought to be.
I talked about that in that video.
I don't know if you watch the NBA, but in NBA, they got a rule now for the last couple of years. If you flop for a foul, you get fined and suspended after so many flops.
What's a flop? Is that what LeBron be doing?
Oh, LeBron's the king of that.
Oh, he's a king. Okay, cool. Then now I know what it is, because that boy.
Yeah, but you can get, if they go back on the video and review it, they can review it in game, review it and say, oh, flop. Oh, that's a technical foul. And if you get so many of them, you get suspended, you get fined.
That's crazy. Hey, you know who ain't never do that?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan ain't never did. I don't think he ever did that.
He took his beating like a man.
Dennis Rodman did that. He flopped a lot.
But it's to the point now where it's like,
but Jordan ain't never do it though.
The camera catches players. You will get hit, right? You'll get hit. And 2 seconds later, he'll get hit, right? 2 seconds later, he'll.
That's how bad it is. LeBron.
No, but it's like after the fact.
LeBron, bro. Yes, and after the fact.
It seems so ridiculous, but
you know what reminds me of?
What's that?
And I know they got the whole LeBron, Stephen A. Smith thing going on now.
Yeah.
But you know what LeBron reminds me of when I see him do that? And I don't really watch NBA, because it's not like how it used to be when I was watching it with,
It's a whole nother story, right?
It's a whole nother. It's
NBA trip, man.
It's crazy, right? But watching LeBron do that kind of reminds me of Karen's doing that.
Oh, Karen's?
Yes, LeBron is like the Karen of the NBA. That's who you are, LB. All right, LeBron.
That's
right?
funny.
He's the Karen of the NBA. As soon as something happened, I'm like, bro,
you better stay off. You better stay off the floor seats because he gonna walk. He gonna give you smoke. If he see you saying
that. I'll bust your kneecaps.
But no, I think just like the NBA calls it, there should be a penalty from YouTube. If you get caught with a misleading head, you should get some kind of ban or something like that. It should be a strike against you because it'd be so misleading.
Not even just that. So that's why I tell people, if you go back and watch, like, this video ain't talking about, pushing buttons. All right. But the video I came out with was talking about something. I can't remember the name of the title, but it was talking about my conversation that I've had with music producers over the past 5 years. Right. And I'm pulling from conversation that I specifically had with people that you've talked with and people that I've talked with. Right. And a lot of them are very similar. And I'm talking about this in that conversation, and I go off on this tangent, right? Kind of like, well, what we talking about now? I went off on this tangent. I'm like, y'all need to stop with these clickbait titles. Y'all need to stop, because it really just pisses me off when I'm searching through YouTube and I see a video from someone, and they got a picture of Kendrick, and the title is "How to Be Successful in the Music Industry," and it's Kendrick, and you're like, oh, I gotta watch that. But the stuff they talking about ain't nothing that Kendrick did. I hate those types of videos, bro. Yeah. It's like you only using Kendrick picture because it's hot and people are gonna click on it and watch it. But ain't nothing that you talking about that Kendrick did is what you're talking about in that video.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because
not even close.
You got one kind of clickbait where it's like it's true.
There's levels to it.
Well, because here's the thing: if it's true, I still don't like it. But at least at least it's true. Like if you say Joe Budden calls academics a B word, you know what I'm saying?
He probably did.
And if he did it, it's still clickbait because he could have talked about something else for the other 10 minutes, but just one part. It's clickbait, but at least it's I'm talking about the clickbait that's a blatant a lie.
You know the clickbait?
Lie.
I hate the clickbait.
Like Big U charged Nipsey Hussle's murder. Huh? Big U charged Nipsey Hussle's murder. That's the headline. It's a picture of Big U's picture of Nipsey Hussle, and you think, oh, he can charge Nipsey Hussle's murder? Wow. You may or may not even click the video.
Right.
Click the video, and it's nothing. It's nothing. No evidence. They didn't even say it. They didn't even say that. They talk about what, but it's like it should be a ban for that, bro.
There should be. I hate the ones where it's like you see like a picture of like Steve Harvey, and at the caption they'd be like, he's a fool, and then you see a picture of like Bernie Mac. I told you he was that way. And then it's like they going at each other, but the video had nothing to do with none of that. I'm like, you know what? I don't like y'all. Y'all should be banned from YouTube.
Don't recommend channel and block.
Yeah. There's a lot of channels I don't recommend.
But it should be like, there should be a fine and a penalty. You get a strike for copyright. You should get a strike against your channel for.
What's so crazy is that anybody can put a copyright strike on you. I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate that. Especially if they disagree with if they don't like what you say. They can come and put a copyright strike against you. I've seen it. I've heard people talk about it. But what's so crazy, right? So you were talking about hip hop, the culture, media, right? And I mean, we've all seen this whole thing with 50 and Big Meech.
Oh yeah, I was gonna skip over that, but yeah.
No, we can talk because it fits right into that, right? Yep. 50 Big Meech, with Rick Ross and this whole thing. I mean, that's kind of like the grown man version of what's happening from the youth perspective. These I guess they call them YNs.
Yep, YNs. Yeah, they call them YNs. Yeah,
I guess, right? I guess these ONs, is that the phrase?
I guess. What they call us old heads.
Old heads and the YNs.
Old heads.
I guess.
And if you're young out there, you better hope you get to be an old head.
You better hope you can be an old head, because that's the goal. You're trying to be that.
Yeah, you want to be an old head.
Like,
man.
Shoot.
I'm a proud 45-year-old old head.
I'm a proud 50-year-old old head, and I'm going to keep going.
I know, right now, I'm blessed to make it to 50, 60.
Hey, that's right. Y'all better be blessed to make it to them years and not have your life end at 22.
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all out there trying to prove yourself to, your homies who don't give a rat's nothing about.
Watch your kids grow. Watch your kids grow, graduate, get married, all that stuff.
That's real man stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's grown man stuff.
For sure.
Nah. But it's so crazy that when I saw the top, I was like, yo, that's kind of like what's happening here, but from a older perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't think I think if we're gonna have issues, I'm gonna come and talk to you. I think that's the issue, is because social media is so accessible, it's so easy, it's so quick to post something up, it's so quick to kind of start something on social media that, it's like, yo, let's just instead of me calling you, hey bro, look, we're gonna talk this out. I gotta post a picture of you on social media. You saying no.
So 50 Cent pretty much destroyed Big Meech's whole credibility.
I know,
destroyed it, bro, to the point to where, and I'm on Big Meech's side in this whole thing, but I don't even want to watch the BMF no more. Like, I don't even care about the show no more, and I'm on Big Meech's side in this, and it's like, it just don't feel the same.
It don't feel the same.
And so if you've been under a rock, Big Meech, 50 Cent helped Big Meech. He put Lil Meech in acting school and got him to play his dad. You got Lil Meech an agent. Lil Meech is on Euphoria TV show, and he's getting opportunities and all that. Big Meech took a picture with Rick Ross and agreed to do Rick Ross's car show. Was going to do a concert. 50 Cent shut the concert down. He called Big Meech a rat. Here's the thing: the girl Tammy Cowan, I think is her name. She's been an executive producer on BMF since the very beginning. So 50 been working with her. 50 been new. Yeah. And it's alleged that, because she is definitely a federal informant. Like, that was never a question. You know what I'm saying? Because she tried to get your hometown, St. Louis, a guy named Cuffy locked up.
Not Cuffy.
Yeah,
I don't know who Cuffy is. But
no, I'm just saying. I don't know. BMF had a stronghold in St. Louis as well. Did. So that was one of their hubs.
BMF almost prevented me from moving to Atlanta.
But apparently, she testified against him. But the allegation that he's making, the Cuffy guy's making, is that Big Meech instructed her to testify and told her stuff. And that's the reason why 50 called him a rat, because she claims, and Cuffy claims, that Big Meech gave her the information. So off that allegation, he's destroyed. But here's my thing, though. 50's full of it, because he knew all this stuff from the beginning. Because Tammy Cowan been a producer on the show.
Right. From the beginning.
From the very beginning. And
that's right.
He talk about rats. This man sat down, did a whole podcast with the Flores twins from Chicago. Did a whole podcast with them, sat and laughed with them. Tomorrow's going to be the biggest thing. He doing a TV show. Apparently, he was doing a TV show with them as well.
Wow.
They are the biggest rats. They talked about on the podcast how they ratted on El Chapo. They took El Chapo down, and you did a whole. And the funny part about it was, I enjoyed the podcast. I listened to the whole thing until they started talking about becoming an informant. Listen, I'm not a street person, but something about people that don't stay true to their beliefs just turns me off.
Who was it? Who said it?
I just can't.
They were like, if you do criminal activity around me, don't be around me.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm gonna tell. But don't be man enough to like sell cocaine and all that if you can't just take your punishment. Why you gotta tell? There's something about that. Like, first of all, don't do crime, y'all. Don't do crime.
That's the issue.
Selling drugs is dumb. Don't do it, man.
That's the issue.
However, like, have some honor. Like, if you're gonna be bold enough to do wrong, take your punishment like a man or a woman. Don't try to drag nobody else down who didn't get caught.
That's a lose-lose mentality.
That's just like, I just don't. So, and it's funny, the Flores twins, I listened to the whole season up until when it was time for them to rat. I just kind of turned it off. I'm like, because it's a good story. I like this. They got a tremendous story, bro. How they was just these kids from Chicago whose dad was from Mexico. And I forget the story, but they got into selling drugs out of Chicago, and they went to Mexico, and they somehow got tapped in with El Chapo. And it's funny because one of the brothers got kidnapped twice and tortured for like weeks. You know what I'm saying? And finally, El Chapo had to get them free, and they were in the middle of a big drug war. And they say, okay, either we go, and the FBI and DEA in the U.S. is tracking them down. They got so hot, they're like, look, we either gonna get killed in this drug war, Because my man got kidnapped twice.
Yeah.
I'm either get killed in this war or the DA gonna get me. Because they was wanted.
Somebody gonna get you.
They were wanted. They had to hide in Mexico. They couldn't come to the United States because they were wanted. So they couldn't even come back home to Chicago. So they turned rat. They turned informant. And that's how El Chapo was in prison now. They're the reason why.
You're the reason why El Guapo is in
50 Cent decided to take them and do a whole podcast and do a TV show with them.
El Guapo?
So you had no problem with that. But they got a problem with Big Meech.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Is that if you go on anybody's podcast and they are doing some things that are questionable, right? Does that mean that you align with their activities or principles, or is it just another outlet, media outlet that you are using to promote your whatever it is?
I'm just saying, he called him Big Meech, Big Screech, and all this stuff, and it's like you didn't have the energy for the Flores twins. You know what I'm saying? Who you work with.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, right? It's like, is a Flores, was that just a stop in the promotional tour for the TV show, or but does it mean that I condone what activities you guys have been doing by being a participant on your show?
No. He didn't go there. He produced their podcast. He put out a podcast on Audible.
Oh, he was the producer of the podcast.
Yeah, it's
with these kids.
At the end of every episode, it's the G Unit Films. At the end of every episode, he did that. He sat down with them.
Now I understand.
As a part of the podcast, he sat down with them to interview them and to tell their story about becoming kingpins and ratting on El Chapo. So you produced a whole show. A whole show, but you got a problem with Big Meech.
Once again, he's like, that's not my backyard. I don't care what y'all do. I don't care what happens in y'all culture. Like, as long as I can get paid and feed my family, I guess. I don't know.
I just think it's real vindictive.
That's crazy.
And I think that, don't get me wrong, though. I think that if 50 Cent helped me, I'll be careful who I stand next to as well, because out of respect.
Yeah, that's the thing. You pose a question about loyalty. What is loyalty? So, but this goes back to even, and that's kind of a topic in here, but that goes back to the whole Kendrick and Drake thing, right? Didn't
Drake take Kendrick on tour?
Take Kendrick on tour, help him promote Kendrick.
Gave him a feature. Justice feature.
Buying out, and trust me, and from what I know of the things that I've heard, Drake buying your albums, you know what I'm saying, helping to reach your album sales. He did the same thing for Cole, right? Buying your album sales, helping to promote, putting you on this and that, and all of a sudden now you have no loyalty, and nobody has any loyalty to Drake now.
And nobody came to his defense.
And nobody came to his defense.
All them rappers that Drake did features.
None.
You could make an argument that Migos wouldn't be who they were if Drake didn't hop on Versace. Future, Drake hopped on 20 Montana, helped launch their careers.
And then there's no loyalty. That's my thing. If you have beef with somebody, issue with somebody, handle it like a man. Call that dude up. Like, yo, we need to have a sit down. Don't go to the internet and be like, yo, let's blah, blah, blah. Have a sit down. Because you want to talk about how real men handle, that's how we handle real. We're going to have a sit down. I'm not, now, of course they're rappers, but where did it turn where that loyalty now became, I don't want to say disloyalty, right? But I mean, that probably is the correct term. But where did it switch? Where now they, instead of being friends and being loyal to one another, we now became enemies to, against each other? Was it because now I've reached a certain level of stardom and now I don't need you and now I can command centers, on my own and you didn't help me? It's like, but if you think about it, on that episode of Nardwuar, Nardwuar asked J. Cole, he was like, did you introduce Kendrick to Dr. Dre? And Cole was like, yo, where you hear that from? He was like, yeah, that's true. And it was like, yo,
that's crazy.
He was like, but how'd you know that? And he's like, nobody knows that. But he's like, oh, we found out. Like, and so many people help other people put other people on, but then it's like, you turn your back on them.
So is Kendrick wrong for coming at Drake? For coming at Drake and Cole?
I would say it depends on the context of what was happening in that situation. From what and who started this whole thing first, right? That's I don't know if the Control verse started the whole thing, or Drake said something prior to that, or Cole says something prior to that rubbed Kendrick the wrong way. I don't know. how that whole situation transpired, and if they were what that circle was between the three of them in that case. Yeah, of course, people get to a certain level, they get certain amounts of egos. Certain things are said, people in your ear. Yo, nigga, he said that about you, bro. You gonna let the nigga say that about you, bro? Nigga, you punk, bro. Like you gonna I ain't no punk, bro. Like, because we know we growing up, people like, yo, man, you gonna him say, I ain't no punk, man. I'm gonna go out there and fight him, man. I ain't no. And it's kind of the same thing. You got people in your ear, probably, that are egging you on to kind of like, yeah, get out there and do something about it. It was like, yo, no, I appreciate that, but we're gonna have a talk. We're gonna have a sit down, figure out what's going on. Because you helped me in my career, and I don't want to be disloyal to that. Right? We don't have to be friends, but I don't want to be disloyal to the fact that you helped me.
Yeah.
In my career. So I'm gonna do what the proper thing I think would be to do, which is to sit down and have a conversation. Now, if you don't want to sit down and have a conversation and you start to put all this on wax, then I have no choice.
Yeah, because I feel like there's certain people, man, that I would never talk bad on. Like, even if I fell out with them and don't rock with them no more, I just won't talk about them no more. But I'm never gonna publicly bash nobody that's helped me out.
Me either.
That's just kind of how I am. So I agree, and I don't care what nobody say, man. Drake. Here's the thing: Drake benefited by jumping on the trendy stuff.
Yeah,
but he didn't have to. Drake has always been Drake. You know what I'm saying? And the Poetic Justice song, Drake didn't have to do that feature.
He didn't have to.
He didn't have to do it. And he brought him on tour.
He didn't have to.
You know what I'm saying? On that tour, he didn't have to do that either.
Nope.
And
but out of the kindness of his heart.
Well, here's the thing. Again, Drake benefits from these things.
Of course.
Like the Versace, Tony Montana. It keeps Drake fresh and relevant because he with the new YNs.
That's right.
He with the new
YNs. That's right.
The new ones, But it's both ways though. So it's mutually beneficial. So I just couldn't crap on nobody that did that for me. And yeah, even with the Cole thing, like, Cole and Kendrick, I don't know. Because again, I didn't like how Kendrick went at everybody on GNX about like who didn't side with him. With Drake.
That was
as if nobody can be neutral. Because my point, even with the Big Meech thing, was like, because I think Big Meech had a little bit of loyalty towards Rick Ross as well, because Rick Ross was shouting his name out back in 2010.
Right, had a whole song, even though the song with BMF was blowing money fast. It's not about BMF in that sense, but it kind of was relatable. Because, I mean, that's
But I remember Big Meech saying years ago, because he didn't do a lot of interviews, but I think he said years ago that yeah, man, I appreciate that. Jeezy should have been shouting me out. You know what I'm saying? So he appreciated that. So that's history there.
Yeah.
So if you're cool with two people, I think the best thing to do is just kind of step back. I wouldn't have took a picture of Rick Ross if I'd known that like him and 50 at it and 50's doing this for me. We could be cool, but it's gonna be behind the scenes. I'm not gonna publicly like align with you.
Because you don't never know what his intent is in that situation.
Yeah, because Rick Ross can be manipulated.
Yeah,
Rick Ross know. And
of course.
I'm here with your man right here.
I'm here with your man right here.
And to me, that's kind of dirty on Rick Ross' part. Because if you really a friend and really love me, I ain't gonna put you in a situation like that. I'm gonna kind of step back. I don't want to do that to you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of step back, and just kind of be chill.
Once again, once you reach that certain level, egos come into play.
Yeah.
And now
because now Big Meech is cooked out here, bro. From urban legend, from like street legend to just like looking bad out here. And it's like, Southwest T, he quiet in the cut. He don't say much at all. He don't even post a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of like, that's probably should be Big Meech, bro. Just don't say nothing, bro. Just
don't say nothing. Just go live your life and just sit back.
Live your life, bro. Like,
you ain't got to give it to these.
If you love Meech, you do got acting credits on a major network. To me, not the best actor. To me, but he can grow. He can grow.
Everybody.
If that's something you really want to do, take it serious. You might have lost a big ally in 50, but you can start at the bottom, work your way up. Just live a quiet life, but don't. Because then you got the little guy, Michael Rainey Jr., the guy from Ghost, talking smack to, and it's like, bro,
I saw that,
bro. 50 will cancel you next, bro. Like, all these folks. It reminded me when Olivia. When Game and 50 Cent and G Unit was going at it, Olivia sitting back talking junk on Game. It's like, girl, he gonna fire you next week.
And where Olivia at?
So that's my point.
Exactly.
You sitting there like, because I remember she said something about, I'll never forget this, man. It disturbed me. You had Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, and Olivia on the radio 50 Cent and was like, I don't care if it's your mama. If 50 say diss him, you diss him. I don't care if it's your mama. And Olivia back there, I don't care if it's your mama. And I'm like, you see me? If 50 tell you to diss your mother, you gonna diss your mother? Because they were mad that the game was cool with Nas and Fat Joe while 50 was going at him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't care if it's your mama. And it's like, that's so idiotic.
Yeah, you know, it's group thing. People
like,
just...
I'm not going... Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to take pictures with your enemy because I'm with you, but I'm not going to just diss everybody because you say diss them.
Right. I mean, I got to understand that in the scope of what's happening. I understand that you and you are against one another, and I'm cool with the both of you. But I'm going to be neutral out of this whole thing, unless I can find a way to be a intermediary between, or mediator between the both of you.
Yeah.
To kind of rectify that situation, because you're both my homies, and I don't want to see, you know, something happen in that type of situation. And so I'm gonna at least try to, if I can, be a mediator in between that. But if not, I'm gonna be cool. I ain't gonna say nothing bad against the both of you, and I'm not gonna do anything that's going to be misrepresented in that case for the both of you. And then that's just what it's gonna be.
Yeah, they gotta... I don't know, but anyway, I kind of didn't like how Fifth handled that. You know what I'm saying? And like, he got me not even want to watch the show no more. It's like, dang, I enjoy BMF. You know what I'm saying?
Man, forget BMF, man.
Yeah,
watching that no more.
I know for me, man. Never say never, but I don't think I don't care. I don't think I would ever want to work with 50 because you gotta like do what he say.
50 petty though.
You gotta do what he say. You gotta do. Even Amari Hardwick, he going against Amari Hardwick. You know, because Amari Hardwick, said he didn't get paid enough or something like that.
The Ghost dude.
Yeah.
Look, 50 like, petty. I've seen, he is like the king of like...
You remember when he threw Tony Ayo in the bushes?
Yes.
It's like...
Bro, he is king of... Bro,
you throw me in the bushes on camera, bro.
This
like,
bro's petty.
I'm a grown man. And, you know, I don't know.
Yeah,
I got pride. I can go work a 9 to 5 and make... I don't need you if you throw me in the bushes. I got pride.
I got pride as a man.
I'd rather go and work a regular job than to be up under you, throw me in the bushes.
I got pride as a man.
Tour the world and stuff. And,
you're not, nah. I mean, but you're right. So you were talking about Kendrick, and I think one of the things was Kendrick, his Super Bowl performance, his issues with Drake, and just kind of where he is at the moment, right? And so I think Kendrick, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Is there going to come a point when his ride is when the slope comes back down?
The crazy part about it is we thought it already came down because Mr. Morale did good and they won Grammys, but it wasn't really his impact. It wasn't the same impact.
Right.
The sales weren't the same.
We thought it was.
So he was kind of like, but this whole... And I hate to say this because now Drake fans are like, see, I told you. But it's like Drake, this whole beef kind of like...
It did.
He's bigger than he's ever been now.
Bro, regardless of how anybody may feel about it, it did.
Yeah.
This beef with Drake catapulted his career back into superstardom.
Yeah. So it's kind of like...
We can't take that away, bro. We see that. That's just like if I got into a thing with 50 Cent, we just started going at it. You'd be like, yo, who is this guy? And all of a sudden, now I'm like, we can't deny that he got into a thing with the biggest rapper in the world, right?
Yeah.
Not in just the United States or in North America, in the world.
For sure.
And so, yes, that catapulted your career went.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
And then you dropped GNX, and that mug went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Like Us is still in the top 10.
It's still in the top 10.
Still in the top 10.
It's going to be there for the rest of 2025.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I do. Because I think what's going to keep it there, not so much streaming sales, but more of these little TikTok, YouTube short types of video. You seen a video of the dude looking at the phone and the song is playing. He's like, you seen them videos and people doing that?
That's great.
Oh, bro, there's a million videos of people, taking the Kendrick song, that little walk Kendrick was doing with him and the ladies.
Yeah.
There's tons of videos. And everybody is making a video. It could be the pastor and his deacons. They don't want to hear about Jesus. We go blah, blah, blah.
Oh, bro, do you see that pastor? That pastor in LA? I forget his name. Oh my gosh. But he doing a breakdance.
Oh, Oh, you talking about
Yeah.
Jesus? Oh, the armor of God. You talking about
No, not him.
Oh, not him. Okay,
no,
okay.
it's
yeah.
the actual a black guy,
Oh,
pastor. He's a pastor, but he do like breakdancing while he
no, I have
preaching.
not seen.
He got a whole page, bro,
Oh
and
my
they be
gosh.
clowning him, but
I have
he be
not
getting
seen
it.
that.
And he was dancing. What's that? He did one. He told us got to come to the front.
He was like,
and then the guy came up there. He started crumping. It was, but he did a Not Like Us mix.
They're all doing it. Everybody's doing it. They're all doing a Not Like Us
And it's
mix.
like in the church, man.
And I think that's what is going to keep that song alive for 2025. Kendrick don't ever have to perform Not Like Us again.
That's the thing. He's about to go on tour. He's about to go on a big stadium
Yeah,
tour.
because they come in here.
They are coming here.
To the Mercedes Benz. So they come in here.
Bought my daughter a ticket to go.
And he's going to be
yeah.
And the crowd's going to, and that song is going to carry until 2025 into 2026. But something else is going to happen. I don't know if you can continue to live your life on Not Like Us. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he could.
But
maybe he can.
Luther, I don't know. Luther been number one for a minute too. You know what I'm saying? Luther's good.
No,
it's been number one for a while.
It's been number one for a while. It's good, and I like it, and I think people like it because it has.
And it's been in the top 10 for longer than that.
SZA's on that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's also because now you got fans of SZA,
and that's getting used a lot on the TikTok videos too.
Yeah,
and Snapchat.
I've seen it. Yes.
So, and then and not to mention Turn the TV Off. Like,
yeah,
that song is
going to stay there for some time.
And Say Now, like he got something with that album, and not to mention they keep saying he got another one coming.
Now that's the thing. It's like,
but he probably gonna milk this. He probably gonna milk this cow.
I would milk the heck out of this because that next album drop, and it may be like Mr. Morales and the Big Steppers. It may, and it's like, oh, what happened?
But
it's like, oh, what happened? What happened? I thought the song was dope. I thought everything else was dope. But, your question in here is like, yeah, he's still dominating. He's still winning the Grammys. I knew he was going to win the Grammys. When I heard Harvey come out and say, oh, yeah, it's going to be eligible, I was like, nah, it ain't going to be eligible. It's going to win. Like, nah. You already, it's already going to be campaigned with, as a, they're going to revoke my Grammy membership. They're going to be like, you out of the Grammys from now on. You can't be in here because the way you be talking about us. But it's like, Henny, if you ever see this, hey, don't worry about it, right? When I see you at the Grammy meeting in the next 2 weeks or so, I get it because he told
Henny, is he the president now?
Yeah. Henny, is he the president? No, Diane is the president.
Okay.
Diane is currently the president. Henny was the president, but
okay.
Yeah, because it's the Grammys, the voting, so you vote for who you support. And trust me, they campaign that mug all in the Grammys, bro. But
I bet. I did want to touch on quick because we can't cover all this stuff, man. But I do want to ask you: did you hear the new Wu-Tang songs? And are you familiar with the tour? And are you going to the tour?
I did. I heard it. Of course, I love it. Look, I'm a Wu-Tang fan.
Yeah, but I heard they got more than one new song. I only heard one song.
I heard the one with I can't remember the name of it. But I saw it on YouTube and I was like, yo, what the heck is this? And I went to listen to it, I was like, oh, the Wu is back.
Yeah, I met a guy.
Am I going to the concert? Yes.
I met a guy at work, man, and it's funny because we don't know, as a supervisor, and I got to tell people to do that.
Get over there and do that.
One person kind of gave a lot of pushback, but once we found out that he was a hip hop head, and now he do whatever I asked him to do. And we go talk about Wu-Tang though for 5 minutes before he do whatever he do. So we go talk about. So we've been every day. It's about you hear a new song. You hear this. You go into the concert. So it's like I talk about Wu every day at work. Every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
it's the final tour, right? It's the final chamber.
I think it's kind of a gimmick.
It's the final chamber.
I don't think it's the final chamber. I think they're just saying it to sell tickets, but
I think it's the final one. I think after this, because Meth and them they pushing. I get it.
It's gonna be money next year, 5 years from now.
They pushing like
Meth is in good shape. Meth could do this for 20 years.
He could.
Meth is fine.
Could. I don't know about everybody else, but he could because Meth keeps.
Well, they say Jizza. I met Jizza. I ran into Jizza at the Cincinnati airport. about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Because they were saying that RZA was saying on an interview, I think it was Sway or Breakfast Club. I think it was Breakfast Club. Somebody about how like the hardest person to get pinned down for the tour was GZA because he do so many shows everywhere. He's everywhere. He performed at a itty bitty little club in Cincinnati. Itty bitty club. Yeah, GZA. I met him at it was renting a car at the same time. Renting a car place. I said, GZA, holy, you know.
You're like, oh snap.
He was irritated too, but he was still nice to me. They didn't have his truck, his SUV there. Him and his manager didn't, but he was mad. But he was cool with me though. But but
that's what's up.
But yeah, just shot up. But anyway,
no, I'm looking forward to the concert. I haven't bought my ticket. I'm waiting on something to happen before I actually have to purchase a ticket. And so
I think that because I'm supposed to work there now.
Trying to get these free
I might try to catch him in like I think Dallas or Houston somewhere when I you know
trying to get these free tickets.
I ain't mad at that, man.
I'm not
nothing wrong with the free ski.
I'm trying to get the freeze tickets, and from what I understand, because so nobody. So how should I say? I mean, I think other employers do it. So y'all don't know where I work, so it don't matter. Ain't like I'm telling y'all, but so they do these tickets to the State Farm. That's Wu's going. I'm like, yo. As soon as I saw my wife sent it to me. She was like, you seen this? I was like, yo. And then you had to do the countdown, and you can log in. It's in the ticket prices, and I went to the job, and I was like, hey, I don't care who want them Wu-Tang tickets. I want them Wu-Tang tickets. I don't ask y'all for a lot. Y'all ask me for a lot, but I want them Wu-Tang tickets though. They were like, ain't nobody else nobody else in this company wants to see Wu-Tang. I'm like, no, there's somebody else. I know because he and I talk about it. Like, trust me, I know. I know he put in for it. I know he's on the list. But I'm like, but he's already seen Wu-Tang a bunch of times. I haven't seen Wu-Tang yet in concert. So give me the tickets.
Speaking of that, I almost flew to New Mexico tomorrow, but I'm not going to do it because I got to take my daughter to
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico.
Because, you know, I saw Bone Thugs and Harmony a couple years ago. Only 3 of them came.
Who didn't come?
Busy was never comes. And then Crazy didn't come. Why Crazy didn't come? I have no idea. Busy don't really go with him. But Crazy didn't come. And shout
CC
out,
gonna be there.
Shout out to Flesh and Bone and Lazy Bone. Their mama just died a couple days prior. This is their first show they done after their mom passed away.
Oh wow.
And I thought they wouldn't show up, understandably so. But they showed up.
Wow. So you ain't got no excuse not show up.
They showed up with Wishbone.
I mean, why people hate on CC though? I don't get it. No, don't hate on CC. All Wishbone.
All I'm saying is that my 2 favorite members didn't come. So
I'm left with the leftovers.
They got this big concert on the West Coast in New Mexico, and they kept advertising all 5 Bone Thugs gonna be there. So I was gonna go. You know, I get flight benefit. Well, I'm gonna tell me too much of my business, but I can fly for pretty much literally nothing. I was gonna go, but then something came with my daughter and all this stuff, and family first and all that.
Right.
But I was gonna go to New Mexico, just to go to that show. But I'm still on the lookout because I want to see Wu-Tang perform.
I want to see Wu-Tang,
and I want to see with all the alive members, and I want to see Bone Thugs perform with all their members, all 5 members.
I haven't seen that. You know my. I told you already. My spiritual father a long time ago is Wishbone's dad.
I know. I ain't trying to like.
That's Wishbone's dad.
Which did good. They all did good. The 3 of them. But I was so disappointed. Like
right.
The 2 leaders, you know, and then Flesh was locked up. So all the top songs, he ain't know most of them.
He ain't know most of them.
So most songs they did like a verse, and Wish would skip some songs. So they did
like. It's like You God.
Yeah.
He's the You God of the group.
You got it. Wasn't he beefing with half the group for a minute?
He was.
Yeah.
How you got beefing with because he went on Vlad talking about it. Yeah. The whole beef he beefing with everybody else in Wu-Tang. Because, you know, did you have a project?
They all did. I'm pretty sure he had something.
I think You God came up with a project.
He might have had a project coming out when he did the interview tour. He might have had a project coming out then.
I mean, but did he have one back then?
Oh, no, I can't even. Honestly, for me, like I said, Ray, Ghostface, ODB, and Method Man. Them were the ones I was really following. Man.
Me too.
Even the RZA, the Gravedigger stuff with the rap, I wasn't really know.
Yeah,
and the GZA
the genius, baby.
I wasn't really, you know, My favorites were Method Man, Ray and Ghost, and ODB.
Yeah.
Those were my favorites.
My favorite, Meth.
Niggas like
Ghost.
Inspector Deck.
Huh?
Niggas like
Inspector Deck, boy. He does, because I love the way Inspector Deck.
Why
I love the way
test the Rebel Lioness. Yeah.
Yes. Why try and test the Rebel Lioness? But yeah, like, but when it came to like the albums, Meth, Ray, Ghost.
Yeah.
ODB was ODB, yes, but he's still not on that high totem pole.
The drugs held ODB back from doing more.
Yeah.
But he had a legendary run with the features, with the whole the Neptunes and Mariah Carey and all that.
It was just he was different. He was he was just different.
Baby, come on.
Baby, come on. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yeah. Like it was just different. And that's why I like ODB.
I heard RZA say that Shame on a Nigga was done in one take by ODB.
That's crazy.
I heard him say that on Breakfast Club.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
Oh, dirty bastard, straight from the Brooklyn Zoo. Like, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Funny, me and a guy at work, random times he'll come up to me singing Wu-Tang.
He see you from the distance.
And it's funny because
he see you from the distance.
Because this guy, he be mad all the time because about the drop. But whenever he see me though, he might be mad. He'll start laughing, singing Wu-Tang or something.
He be like, "Hey, clan in the front."
He be shaking his head. Something. He's like, he still laughs, do a Wu-Tang lyric, and go back shaking his head after he get done. But yeah, man.
Yo, that is so funny, bro. That's so
dope,
funny.
Man, Wu-Tang Clan. But I know when I found out that, I said,
"Oh yeah,
I'm sure Brian gonna go.
Go see it. Know it.
And I'm gonna try to catch him. Probably not in Atlanta though, but I got to work that night. But I'll probably catch him.
I'm gonna catch him
somewhere. I'm thinking about Dallas,
June 11th.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I think it's on a Wednesday, right? They coming.
I guess.
Because
what day it is?
At work, we were talking about which day they coming and we was gonna take off and all that. But
I'm taking off, and the next day. Like, don't expect me to go to work that day and the next day. Nah.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing.
Yeah, because I ain't going back to work. So
that's what's
not
up.
Not until the day after. Not until the next day after that. Cause I'm gonna still be high on the Wu-Tang thing.
But then the new song, I forget the name of it. The new song wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
It came out with.
It wasn't bad. Because you don't want me to go to work the next day after the Wu-Tang concert? Nah. Because everything I'm going to say is going to be from a Wu-Tang verse.
Yeah, Mandingo.
Yeah, Mandingo. Yeah. It's going to be a Wu-Tang verse in the meeting. I can guarantee it.
That's funny.
I can guarantee it. Like, it's going to be. My boss already knows. She's going to be like, nah, don't come in the next day. Because we know how that's going to be for you. But yeah, I heard that. Yep.
Yeah, Raekwon, Mathematics, Inspector Deck.
Yep.
And Method Man and Capadonna.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know why I thought Ray and Ghost was on there for some reason.
But I did hear that. But I want another Protect Your Neck though.
Oh yeah.
I want another Protect Your Neck with everybody on it.
But can they do that without ODB?
Without ODB? Can you do it with YDB? With YDB,
maybe.
And it'd be the new, and it'd be
well, apparently he's going on tour with them.
Yeah,
and he does ODB's parts.
All
sort of how Lil Eazy-E would go. Him and Yella be on tour. He do Eazy-E
all
stuff,
Eazy-E parts. So bring Young Dirty Bastard and just have him do all of his pops stuff, and that's dope. He's like a member of Wu-Tang. So he's the replacement of ODB for Wu-Tang when they go on tours.
That's what's up. Rest in peace to ODB, man.
Rest in peace to ODB, man. But there is one thing we got to talk about before we end, though.
What's that?
It is Eminem.
Oh yeah,
we got to talk about Eminem,
the engineer,
and how he's still in Detroit's most famous music.
What's crazy is I've been listening to, because there's one leak. There's a song on the new, because I listen to the Death of Slim Shady a lot. That's a dope album. There's a song called Antichrist, which I think is the best song on the album. It's real dope. But apparently, this song was worked on in like 2003 or 2004, and he's talking about Michael Jackson on this song. So it's called Michael. He's the Antichrist, because it makes sense now though, because he's talking about, in the song he's talking about women and children. It makes sense because he's talking about Michael Jackson with the children, and that got leaked. And it's like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? He's like kind of dissing Michael Jackson on there. And he had a song where he's dissed Suge Knight. that got leaked. I heard that. He's really dissing Ja Rule, really, but Suge catches some strays in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Catches some straight bullets.
oh my God, okay.
Right.
Because, you know, Suge, they did the source cover with Suge and the new Death Row with Left Eye and Crooked Eye and all that. And they interviewed Ja Rule with them too. And Ja Rule was dissing Eminem and all that. So that was leaked.
Ja Rule playing dangerous game.
Yeah, that was leaked. It was a whole batch of songs. I listened to like 4 or 5 of them.
Right, they said it was a whole bunch of songs that he leaked over the span of a certain amount of years, and he sold them.
Yeah, because there's one song he had to come out and apologize because it got leaked. He made a joke about Chris Brown beating Rihanna, and him and Rihanna got tight over the years. They went on tour together.
Yeah,
so he had to come and apologize for the line, because that got leaked. And now we know where the source of these leaks have been coming from
his engineer. Like, that's crazy.
Funny because I think I know somebody that know him too. By the way, I'm sure say it on
I'm 100% sure you do. I'm 100%. But that's the thing, right? Is that you're working with engineers, and they all have access to all that music. And you can come in as as an artist, and as an artist yourself, come in and record a plethora of songs. Half of those songs you may not use, but where do they stay? Probably stay on the engineer's hard drive.
Yeah,
right?
I've heard stories about that. I heard a story about a rapper who's not even really known for being a tough guy, but a rapper beat up an engineer because the engineer kind of leaked.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, let me tell you something. Engineers in major studios, man. I went to SAE, and part of the process is you get internships at these studios. I got lucky. I got in with my boy Willpower and never looked back. I went, but we were supposed to rotate. I got in with him one night to engineer, and I never went nowhere. I stayed at that studio for like years after that, but
right.
I didn't rotate. But I heard like it's really rough at some of these studios, man, where like you get beat up, you get talked to crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And the funny part about it is it's a lot you don't know. The public don't know. Like engineers, depending on who's paying for the session, you got to know what to do with those files because you don't automatically give the files to the artist.
Because they're not paying for the session.
Exactly.
That's right.
And that's a whole can of worms right there.
That's right.
But also it's like who stores the files and where does the files go? Who makes extra copies of the files? Let me tell you something, man. I ended up with a few because my boy, I didn't want to drop names, but my homie, I would go to him. He's a major producer. I would go with him in different studios, different sessions, and all types of flash drives are laid around. And I just ended up on accident with flash drive. To this day, I got flash drives with unreleased music from like a lot of the major Atlanta artists. And the thing was like, whoever left this, because I think I took one by accident once. I thought it was Homeboys.
Who leaves it?
But who protects these things is very important. Because rappers they just come record and just go about their business. But this stuff is like, and if I was one of those people, I could leak stuff. Let me tell you something. I got stuff from years ago from major artists. Years ago. Because I knew this person, I knew that person. I heard so-and-so. I used to manage some people who did records with so-and-so. I got some crazy records that are unreleased from like big producers, big rappers. And I'm just a regular. But can you imagine? Yep. And I'm not I want to cuss. I'm not no punk. No band. You know what I'm saying? What they call it? Band, bitch ass nigga.
Band.
But if I was one of them, I could do shade, but
you could.
I like to be a good person, but what I'm saying is that it's crazy. It's you'll be surprised how easy it is to get access to certain files and exploit them.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. I know it took a long road to say that, but
nah, that's true.
It's a lot of stuff because I'm one that could exploit stuff real easy. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just down here.
Now imagine somebody at that caliber working with artists like Eminem, etc.
Yeah,
and how much music that they have on these flash drives, hard drives. And just like you, I got homies who are producers who produce for, and they got all this music, and it's like none of this music has ever been released, and it's like, yeah, what's good? I remember
people would send you say, hey, listen to this. Tell me what you think about this. Listen to this real quick, and now it's on your computer now. They send it to you to listen to.
Look, that was one of the things about doing all these when I still do interviewing all the people who will come to come here.
Mm-hmm.
And they always wanted to play because they see all the equipment. They're like, yeah, that's right, you do produce. I'm like, yeah. And so they, yo, listen to this song, and they sent it to me, and I got songs on my computer from songs that ain't never come out from producers who,
yeah, man,
producers producers that I know, producers who work with, and I still got them, and they just. But if I was grimy, I could be like, yeah, I'm gonna release that because like nah. But stuff like that happens, and that's the thing. Engineers have access to so many different tools, so many different songs that at any moment, any time they wanted to be grimy, they could do it because they have access to doing it. And I think that's just the thing from a protective perspective is that as an artist, you got to once again, these are those things y'all don't like to hear, right? The business stuff. Right.
Didn't he sell it for some Bitcoin? Didn't he get like Bitcoin for it or something like that?
I think so. Yeah, if I remember correctly,
like
I think
a small amount to a Bitcoin.
He got like some Bitcoins for it, which is why it's important y'all learn how to protect yourself, right? And copyright, which y'all don't even probably not a copyright. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent with that, but still, it's like you got to figure out how to protect yourself. If you are going to the studio, who's paying for that session? Are you going to pay for it? Is somebody else going to pay for it? Because as soon as if they pay for it, you're not getting them files.
And make sure it's paid for, though. There's been times where it's like, okay, they paid a deposit, but until the full's paid in, they're not getting no files.
No files.
And now you got to sit there and deal with them. Like, no, the manager need to come in here and deal with it because they're going to beat me up if I don't give them the file. Hey, give me that. And I'm
I'm not giving it to you.
I can't give it to you. You got to take care of, But a lot of studios put engineers in that predicament where they got to have a conversation. And
they shouldn't have to.
No, they shouldn't have to.
The engineer shouldn't have to have that conversation. There should be the office manager, the studio manager, whoever that person is that's handling
and a lot of times
the business side of what's happening, right? The engineer should not be doing none of that. The organization, the distribution, they're there to do a very specific job to engineer.
And maybe they feel like they're not being paid enough, or they're being pushed around. So maybe it's his way of fighting back. I don't know. I don't know.
It could because we don't know how Eminem treated the dude. I don't know.
I'm assuming treated him well. I don't know. But it's like,
man, Eminem, man, I'm taking all these drives, man.
But you the engineer of one of the biggest rappers in the world. Like that's.
Did he not think there was going to be repercussions?
But I'm just saying, but that's a cool job, though.
Now,
I don't know what you're getting paid, right? But I'm just got to think. No matter what, you can try to parlay that into something special, right?
I'm just saying. You could.
I don't know.
It's crazy. It's crazy out here.
Or at the very least, maybe you can learn something and
it's crazy.
Become a producer or a manager. You can make connections. Because like I said, the person I know is a big producer that know him. So now you got connections and you can kind of. Why would you
jeopardize your career like
Bitcoin, bro? And now nobody want to work with you.
No, you blackballed.
You go with local artists now. Now you back.
Not even local artists.
Now you back down at the bottom. Now.
Not even local artists. Yeah. They were like, oh wait, hey, aren't you that dude who stole the files from Eminem? Well, yeah, no, I'm good.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, but I was wondering because M has had a lot of leaks over the years.
Now we know why.
He's had leaks.
I mean, but here's the thing: do leaks hurt? It's
kind of like I said. I know he probably didn't want that record to come out with that Rihanna line.
I'm sure he didn't.
And I'm sure
that way it could hurt.
He the whole Michael Jackson thing with him, because that was a big controversy when he did the Michael Jackson dance in the video and Just Lose the video. So he put that behind him. But now so I don't know. And then Suge Knight got more fuel of that fire. Oh, you was talking about me on the record?
Are you talking about me on the record?
Speaking of that, Suge is like talking about that. You hear Suge on like a campaign now. He back talking shit again. He was talking about Snoop and Daz Dillinger and all that. And it's
why?
And him and Ray J and Vlad, because Ray J was on Vlad. And
Snoop's cousin? Y'all don't know?
Yeah, Ray J's on Vlad. and they called Suge on the three-way. And Suge is cussing out Ray J, cussing out Vlad on the speakerphone. And Ray J sitting there like, just sitting there, you know what I'm saying?
Like what I'm saying. It's Suge Knight, you know what I mean? He's a big giant dude.
I don't know, man. It's crazy.
I don't know.
Try to be a good person, man.
Try to be a good
person. Work hard and spread positive energy out here, man. Because
man, that's it, bro.
It's so much negativity. Everybody going against everybody.
That's it.
Everybody beefing with everybody. Everybody in, everybody out.
Don't wipe your nose.
No. Don't wipe nobody else's
nose.
Don't
wipe nobody else's nose. Don't wipe your nose. Like just let the snot just gonna drip down, I guess.
Oh man.
B man, it's always a good pleasure. Wipe your nigga nose. Wiping nigga nose, man. I'm like,
you gotta see that thing on Genius. They did a whole breakdown of that.
I'm gonna go check it out.
And this is 2019. But yeah,
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. But man,
much love to everybody. Much love to everybody. Thank y'all for checking us out.
For sure.
God bless y'all. God bless everybody.
Peace. We out.
Yeah.